Good morning, everybody. Happy belated Turkey Day. Happy early.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Who can't hear me? Wait, I'll come back there and talk directly to you. You gotta forgive me. I have been, past month, some of you know, I've been somewhat ill over the past month, so probably my voice is very, very weak, and my time up here is very, very weak. It's just been, I'm just coming and winding down the end of 4-year term serving you guys, and it's really been an honor. And although it's had challenges, it was a pleasure too, to see some of the things that got done. So, Angie, I thank you, by the way, for donuts. Is this donuts with Angie on today? Well, thank you, Teresa. Okay. With all that, I do not have a control on, so can you hit the button? Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum? Many people are on a cruise, she said, but yes, we have a quorum. Next slide, please. If everybody would stand and do the pledge with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next. Next, we have a quorum next. Okay, this is your RAC Executive Committee. They're right over here. Janet Warren, Bill Turcott, Janice Harris, myself. We are the Executive Committee of the Council, and all they're working hard for you. It's been interesting. Past presidents, I think the only past president here right now is Janice Harris.
No, I'm also here, Ron.
Oh, you're over. Hi, Pearl. Well, we had a seat of honor for you.
That's okay, I was a little.
But these ladies, plus the Sarah Chambers, they have built the platform for which I was able to stand on, and their shoulders to stand on. They've done a great job, and I thank them because I know what the job entails, and it was probably the same challenge back when. So, next slide. These are your RAC reps, and I'll let Don just kind of scroll through them. These are the people who sit on the council, make the decisions. They're there on your floor when possible to try and help you and be there, but to represent you. This is the time of the year when some of them have served their term, and some of them, in fact, can't even run anymore because they've served 2 terms. And floors that needed a new RAC rep, you have gotten something in your mailbox. Talk amongst each other. If you don't pick a RAC rep, I get to pick them. You don't want me to pick your RAC rep. So find out who you're on your floor, or if one person wants to work and then a couple other people are helping them. Let's do that. But you know anybody who wants to become a RAC rep, or you want to become a RAC rep, let's do it. Don? These are your committee chairs, and I'm not going to go through a whole lot of things about committees, but we do have one committee reporting today, and it's your healthcare committee. Seems they do that every year around this time, so you'll understand more, or at least what healthcare committee does, and then if you've been at these meetings all year, you've heard from pretty much everybody up there. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. Year-end review. I'm not familiar with that. What I'm going to do is ask Angie Roy to come up here and share with us the results of the year-end review, I guess, the survey that they did. And I notice you have a bunch of helpers there, so you're planning on being attacked.
Good morning, everybody. I know the RAC holiday dinner's tonight, but I just want to take a minute and thank Ron for his contributions as the RAC president over the last 4 years. It's been a real pleasure to partner with him. He advocates for the residents all the time, and while we may not agree 100% of the time, we're always very respectful of each other, and he supports me greatly, so I'm so appreciative of that. Getting to the resident survey results, I'm going to give pretty much a general overview, and then as we get through the presentation, I can talk about what we're going to do going forward to address what I think are our areas of opportunity based on the survey results, and then we'll tackle that in some future meetings over the course of the next few months. So next slide. So these are our participation rates. So in independent living, we had 83% participation, which equates to 429 surveys that were returned. So that's a pretty good number. We only have 425 apartments, but this is every resident got a survey. So we actually have about 530 residents. So this was a pretty good participation rate for independent living. Assisted living, the participation rate was 70%, and that meant 47 people responded to the survey. And we actually did have some of our independent living residents go down and help those folks fill out their survey. Memory care, we had 71%, which was 17 respondents. And in memory care, we usually have the spouse or whoever the responsible party is complete that survey, because most of those residents aren't able to complete the survey on their own. And then at Plaza West Health Center, it was a 51% participation, or 20 respondents. And the people that get the survey at Plaza West are the folks that are there permanently. So typically 3 North is the unit there that we have our permanent residents at Plaza West, some of which are life care, some are not life care residents, but they are the residents that live there permanently. And typically if they're able to fill out the survey, they will. If not, their loved ones or responsible party will complete the survey. Overall satisfaction, and when we talk about overall satisfaction, these are the things, the components that go into that overall satisfaction rate. So the questions are you satisfied with Freedom Plaza as a place to live? Do you feel home at Freedom Plaza? And would you recommend Freedom Plaza to friends and family? And these are the overall satisfaction scores by different product lines across the community. So for independent living, we had an overall satisfaction rate of 79%. So almost 80%, and that means 79% of you strongly agreed or agreed with the overall satisfaction components. That's a couple ticks down from the survey in 2021, but we're going to break that percentage down in the next couple of slides. Assisted living was 88% overall satisfaction, memory care was 96%, and Plaza West Health Center was 97%. So pretty good overall results. And so this sort of breaks down those percentages by some demographic information. So if they split it up by the length of time that the independent living residents have lived here. So the people that have lived here less than a year, their overall satisfaction was 83%. If they lived here 1 to 3 years, it was 83%. 3 to 5 years was 76%. 5 to 10 years was 75%. And then over 10 years was 84%. And then this is another way to slice and dice that information. It was by age of resident. So the folks that live here that are under 70 years old are 91% satisfied. Now that's a pretty small group of residents, but one of the categories that they broke out. 70 to 74 is 77%, 75 to 79 is 79%, 80 to 84, 82% satisfied, and then I highlighted the 85 to 89. That's our largest group of respondents. Well over 100 people fall into that category, and their overall satisfaction is 83%. And then over 90 is 82%. And then this is a breakdown between the Plaza Building and Gulfview Terrace. So our Plaza Building residents, overall satisfaction is 78%, and Gulfview Terrace is 83%. And so these are our top scores. Some of these were our top scores on the last survey. We have a couple new ones that moved into this category. So the top score was reception, or the front desk, and that was 97% satisfaction. Accounting was 94%. Marketing sales, new entrant into the top 5, 94%. Resident health services, which is Lisa and the EMTs, that's 91%. And plan operations, which is maintenance, was also 91%. And then here's our areas for opportunity. So these were the 3 scores that were below 80%, and we'll be doing specific action plans on these 3 categories. So extraordinary impressions was 76%, food and beverage was 70%, and I'm gonna let, Teresa's gonna come up after me and give some more details on that. And then engagement was 68%. And I wanna go into a little bit what extraordinary impressions and engagement mean. So extraordinary impressions is an LCS signature program that really focuses on hospitality. We have 10 hospitality provinces, and we review those with our employees regularly at staff meetings and all staff meetings. So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a specific presentation on extraordinary impressions at a future town hall meeting. So everybody gets a better understanding of what that program is. But the questions within that section on the survey were focused on privacy, friendliness of staff, professionalism, responsiveness, attention to detail, and things like that. But more to come on that specifically, because we're gonna do a presentation on it. And then lastly, engagement. So this is sort of a nebulous category. And I looked up the definition of engagement, and it's the level of enthusiasm and connection a resident feels with the place they choose to live. So that's the definition of engagement. And the questions on the survey related to engagement talk about, do we promote well-being as a resident here? Do you have a sense of belonging in the community? Do you feel you can live with a purpose? And do you feel that you have a voice in the community? So they're the types of questions that fall under that engagement section of the survey, and we're gonna focus on those types of things too as we go through future resident meetings and talk about what it means to feel engaged. And the only other comments I have, we have the actual survey results that are based on the questions, but then we get a lot of verbatim comments. So we get positive comments, we get sort of neutral comments, and then we have those constructive comments on what can be done better. And we take those very seriously. And I was kind of going back through those comments this morning, and I'm looking for a theme. So probably the biggest theme as I go through the constructive comments revolved around communication. And we talked a little bit about communication in some meetings over the last 6 months or so, but I'm gonna circle back to that as well. Because what I try to do is always communicate the same message multiple different ways, right? So we have meetings like this where I can communicate with all of you. We have resident town hall meetings. We have apps with Angie, and we record those meetings and replay them and send out links for you to watch them if you can't attend. We have my weekly memos. We have the weekly. I do floor meetings probably twice a year as a general statement, for everybody. But if there's more ways we communicate that you feel that we could do it more effectively, obviously we want to hear those, whether it's myself or another department on a specific topic. We're open to all those suggestions, but we'll talk about that as we go forward and do our action plans for the survey results. So with that, I'm going to call Teresa up, and she's going to talk a little bit more about the dining results on the survey. Thank you, Angie. Well, again, I made it to the bottom. You know, it's been a long 16 years with these resident surveys. The last resident survey that we had, we fared pretty well, but there were a lot of contributing factors on this one. You know, I kind of want to break it out for you a little bit, looking at 2021 and 2023. Before I do that, I'd like to say that looking across the portfolio, we did see that a lot of our sister communities were in the same boat. Food is something really tough. I think a lot of you know that. You can be sitting at a table and with your table mates and say, boy, I really love dinner tonight, and the same meal can be on their plate, and they're like, well, I don't like it. Because we all have different tastes. We all come from different regions. We all cook things a different way. And you know, in our industry where we're at in senior living, while we want to do things that are adventurous, we do have to play the line of playing it safe sometimes with seasonings and how we do prepare things. So with that being said, we're going to go over the overall results. We can go to the first slide. So what I'm showing you is just a snapshot of the main items that we are graded on between 2021 and 23. The first one is that the food and beverage director responds to questions and concerns. Out of the responses were pretty similar. We did have 5 more responses, and those 5 residents didn't feel that I responded fast enough, so they gave me a negative. That's what I see on that. The dining room servers are attentive to my needs. That was a positive. We are seeing that the dining room servers and hearing from residents that the servers are more attentive and checking back on tables, so we did see that increase in that response. The remaining food and beverage team, that would be Pamela, Melly, the supervisors, Chef Jamie and his sous chefs, are response to questions and concerns. We did see a dip in that. Executive chef, I put Chris Wynn up there because that was 2021, and then Jamie Simoes is our new chef. The response rate went down greatly in that, but if you look at the responses, in 2021, 318 residents responded to that for Chef Chris, giving him a 91%. But in 2023, when we sent this survey out, not a lot of you had a chance to meet Chef Jamie, so a lot didn't actually even respond to it. We only had 187 responses, which results in a negative impact to our overall. So we know that that's because we transitioned into a new chef. The menu has a variety of selections. Our menu variety has taken a dip, and we have a negative 14 as far as that response is. Overall, are you satisfied with food and beverage services? We're at a negative 12 on that, and we had a couple additional responses. Meal tastes delicious, and meals are served at the appropriate temperature. Both took a hit, negative 11% on that. So let's go to the next slide. So contributing factors to this. Long tenured chef has left. A new chef has started. We saw that impacted our percentages greatly. We did have turnover in the front of the house management team since the last survey. As I was going through each of the individual responses, the 2021 survey, a lot of it basically was, we talked about COVID, we talked about Jennifer, we talked about Tanya. Pam and Melly started it at that interim. So it's getting to know the management team, them getting to know their roles, and there may have been some mishaps in the past 2 years, so that does play a part in it. Menu variety, I think that overall we did see a positive response and have seen a positive response to the participation in International Night, but for those who are adamantly against International Night, that did come up in the survey. Preferred dining rollout. I did see a lot of comments. They're feeling that as a community, we're feeling a little uneasy about the preferred dining rollout. Now, we did do this survey prior to us starting the floor meetings, prior to us really getting a lot of that information out. We are seeing as an overall community now and feeling a lot better about it from going to the floor meetings, the questions that we're getting, and also the responses that we're giving out. Temperature of food across the board is a long-standing issue in senior living. We're seeing that in senior living. They do see that on cruise ships as well. I'm actually watching a documentary, if any of you are interested, it's called The Cruise, it's on Amazon Prime, it's like really good, but it's an 18-part series about the Virgin Cruise Line out of Miami, and they talk a lot about food on it, and it's very interesting on how they keep their temperatures and whatnot. There's other stuff too, but I always just care about the food. Expectations in dining. Contributing factor, the reason why I said this is dining is really custom tailored, right? Not a one-size-fits-all department. So the difference between dining and other departments is if we have call-offs in dining, you all are affected. If there's call-offs in other departments, such as maybe marketing or maintenance, we just call and say, well, we're gonna do your cleaning a different day, or we're gonna hang that picture at a different time if it's not like a safety issue or whatnot. But with dining, we're constantly on stage, and every day we need to be as close to 100% as we can. And it's sometimes a little bit more difficult. I think that we've gotten better at it, but there's definitely like room for improvement. So let's look ahead to the preferred dining program. So some of the things that came up on, where we have scored low was menu variety, the temperature of the food, and selection. So in 2023, currently right now, we have 21 daily options weekly. We have 1 weekly option and 6, I should have said always available options, all in one main dining room. In 2024, we're looking at, and I just added the grill on there as a reminder, that we have 30 plus menu options in the grill. And also to let you know that as I was going through the survey results, and I've gone through them multiple times and compared back and forth, most of the results are just basically, all the responses given were basically the main dining room. The grill doesn't come up at all really, except for one comment in the 2023 survey results, which I find interesting because all of you seem to be very, very happy with the grill and the service that you do receive in the grill. So we didn't really see that in the survey. It's just the main dining room. The sports bar, you'll have 8 additional menu options daily. The buffet, you'll have 3 separate menus weekly. In the main dining room, you'll have 19 selections daily plus chef specials 1 to 3 times a week. So we have increased the variety. Now, it's not the same, you're not going to be able to get that variety at the same time every day because we have different venues open, but we have really increased the variety for you. Let's go to the next slide. Hot food. Hot food is a long-standing issue, and this is the year that I am pledging to you that Chef Jamie, who has been a catalyst in our kitchen, we've seen a lot of positive results coming from his leadership in the kitchen, that hot food is something that we are 100% working towards. Items will be made to order with the new menus. One of the things that you like about the American Grill is when you get your food is hot, because the food is really quick service and fast order food. So those items are very quick to turn over and to get made, and you're getting it right at that point in time. The sports bar is going to be very similar to that. In the main dining room, expect a slight increase on wait time for entrees to account for this. Make sure you enjoy the company you're eating with. If you have nothing to talk about, it's going to seem a lot longer. I mean, sometimes I opt out of the holidays with my family because I just don't have anything to talk about. And I don't want to wait for that turkey. However, be patient because we are working to get, we need to work through this new program and how the cooking techniques and what we are going to be doing to get the food out to you in a timely manner, but also correct when it comes out. Just like a mainstream restaurant, the busier the restaurant, the longer the wait. If you're not a patient person, find an alternative time that will accommodate your needs. We have now opened up our dining program. It's not a one-size-fits-all, as I said earlier. So now you have the option to eat at any time during the day. You don't always have to eat at 5 o'clock. If you all choose to come in at 5 o'clock, I promise you the wait is going to be very long. So there are options. Maybe sometimes a week you do alter your schedule. Or if it's just that, this is unbearable, I don't want to wait this long for my meal, or 30 minutes is too long for me to wait for my entree, come down at lunch, try lunch out. We have 530 residents participating in dining, and an average of 425 of you are eating in one of our concepts or picking up daily. So there's a lot behind the scenes that need to be done. There was a lot of strategic planning involved when we were embarking on this new program to open and close restaurants at certain times so we can accommodate. We have one kitchen and we're providing 3 different menu concepts coming out of one kitchen. In order for us to be successful, we couldn't have everything open at the same time. But we're hoping that some of you will flex and come down to the other concepts to try them out. We also have opened the reservation for the main dining to 4 o'clock to hopefully alleviate that backup. We are seeing that the biggest time, that the highest participated reservation time is 4:30. If you notice, there's a line. Now, we're not telling anybody to wait in line. You have reservations, so as soon as the door opens, or light turns on, you can come in. But everyone seems to like to get in the line. So we're opening that half an hour early to hopefully get that 4 o'clock crowd out before that 5 o'clock crowd comes in. And I think that, oh, sorry, I had moved these slides. So I wanted to go over just a couple comments from 2021 and 2023 that were the same. So even though we scored higher in 2021, the comments we see that are consistent are the same. One, in 2021, I feel the food should be prepared in a healthier way. We are also seeing that in 2023. In 2021, the food was better years ago. The food here is a disgrace. That was 2021. And that was a higher score. 2023. The food was way better 4 years ago. So maybe that was the same person saying that in 2019 it was better. Food's not hot. Soup is hot, but the food is not. That is in 2023. 2021, the food has not enough vegetables. Offer some more days of vegetables on the menu. They want more vegetables on the menu. Freedom Plaza has its problems, and the worst being food service. We need a better management, supervision, cooks who know how to cook, and a new executive chef. That was 2021. So we have a new executive chef. And then in 2023, I don't know who the executive chef is. He's new. Not sure I like him. I told Jamie, I'm like, don't take it personally. They just don't know you. In 2021, we elderly eat less and would like to be able to take our takeovers and leftovers home and dessert to enjoy later. Well, that option is coming to you. So you'll be able to do that. Dining in 2023, food and better dining hours, not having enough green vegetables like spinach and broccoli. In 2024, we're gonna have steamed broccoli every single day. So then you have that leafy green, that healthy leafy green for you. My favorite, and I'm gonna end it with this, in 2021, it was my favorite comment then, and it will always be my favorite comment. I cannot believe you served root beer on July 4th. So when I tell you we can't win, I'm not sure how we can. We're always striving to make changes. I think that if you've been here for a while, you know me. We're gonna give you the best plan that we have, that we have come up with, we strategize with. We're gonna ask residents for support. We're gonna ask you for your suggestions. We're gonna make some changes. We're gonna open with it, and if it doesn't work, we're gonna pivot. We're gonna constantly pivot. The idea for us, I would be extremely happy if we can roll in at like an 85% positivity rate on these resident surveys. That's kind of my strive. I'd be really happy if we were at an 80 and I didn't have to do an action plan. But we are, we are continually trying to bring new things, new flavors to you. I feel that our team is the strongest that it has been. Chef Jamie has been he's just getting started. We have the chef's tables for those that enjoy an interesting, 5-6 course meal that want to do that. We're trying to change some things that we're doing in the dining room, working on consistency. He's brought in 2 sous chefs. He's looking to hire a 3rd. His idea, the reason why he came here was to bring the exciting food and good food to senior living. Everything that he was doing in the outside sector, he wants to bring it in here, with what you all want. We're not going to go too far off the beaten path, but I think that Pam and Melly have really gotten a really good footing in the front of the house. We're starting to see a lot more trust and buy-in from a lot of you, knowing that they're going to handle these situations. And I just ask that you bear with us as we go through this preferred dining program. We're gonna make some mistakes. We're gonna be frustrated at times. You're gonna be frustrated with us. We're gonna be frustrated maybe that you didn't go to the places that we thought you would go eat at, but we're gonna make these changes together. But I do thank you for being so supportive and actually filling out the surveys and making dining a huge part of the survey, because it does give us a great snapshot on how the overall feels. So thank you so much.
So are any demerits for my comments? Everybody's always worried when they fill out the survey, are they gonna be, you're behind me. You will be coming up. As I mentioned earlier, we have some really great committees. And every year, I'm always surprised. We have Janet Blackshear. How much did you collect this year?
Over our goal.
We collected over our goal, and that's including the checks that came in after the cutoff date. And that happens every year. And, you know, we just got a couple of new checks, I think, this past week. But we need that because it's hard to make our goal if we don't have a surplus that we start out with. If we had 100% participation, we would have all kinds of money. But so how we make it is that the people keep sending those checks in, and we have something to leave for the next year's, every year. So thank you so much. And the hard workers, we raised over $800,000 in funds.
The past 4 years. That's what you raised. So we have committees doing things. I venture to say that probably at least 50% of you have had dealings with our technology committee. 4 years ago, we didn't have a technology committee. You can't hear me. I don't know why. Would you make me louder? But I said it was 4 years ago, we didn't have a technology committee. Look at it now. In fact, they got so busy and the things they couldn't handle that you at least now have some other options as well, in-house help besides the technology committee. But I do thank them. Every committee has been standing up and doing their job. But 4 years ago, when I took this position, unfortunately, we had a healthcare committee, and through a misunderstanding, I hope it was a misunderstanding, certainly nothing deliberate, they all quit. So we had no healthcare committee. And I went to Janet Warren, who at that time was secretary of our organization, and I said, would you take that on? I know you love healthcare. Well, here we are 4 years later with a super active healthcare committee, and I'd love you to come up here and tell everybody everything about you've been doing for the past 4 years.
Okay, that will take a while. As I said, I'm Janet Warren. I've been council secretary for 4 years, so I'm leaving that position in February. But I will continue to be healthcare chair because I have some years left for me. Okay, this is supposed to work. Okay. I want to go to this one. Come on. There we go. All right. When I joined in 2021, we had 3 members, and we carried on with 3 members very well. But now we have 11 members, and I'm very proud of the work and the effort that's put in to our healthcare committee. When they joined, I asked each member to select a healthcare area that they think would be beneficial to the residents. So we work as a team, and I'm going to go down this list now and give you an idea of who is responsible for what. Tom Alschuler and Susan Baker presented a hearing loss seminar, and they also moderate the hearing loss support group. Becky Batson has developed a lot of programs for VIP, visually impaired, and she is a moderator for the cancer support group and has coordinated our calendar. Carl Bolenkamp, with his experience as ESMT, has written medical articles for our newsletter, and he's attuned at all times at what's happening at Freedom Plaza because he is a knight of the round table and the grill, so he hears a lot of information that he can transfer back to us. Bruce Clatterbuck is the creator and moderator for the neuropathy support group, which in addition to quarterly meetings has Zoom meetings with Cindy Toffhagen, who is a USF professor. And I've met with that group before and even went to a picnic, and they're pretty serious about what they do. Maureen Kershaw, I think she's here today. She joined us recently and has already contributed an article on breathing effectively for our newsletter. Joan Lachal is a very long-term member of the vision impaired group, and she has continued as moderator this year. Chuck Roth has been our liaison from the council. Ron Sweet has written articles and creates a beautiful format for our Did You Know newsletter. Also, with his position as president, he's brought ideas to the surface that's helped us to channel our energies in productive ways. I've been chair and secretary for all this time. I have a hardworking group, but no one wants to be secretary. So I say, okay, and I use that as a tool for goal setting and evaluating what we do. Lisa Frank is a very important part to our group because she has an overview of what's happening at Freedom Plaza, and that enlarges our perspective. Kim Habercorn, Chris Grella, and Amy Gunter are also on our committee. They come when they can and they contribute to what we do. So what have we been doing this year? Come on. Let's go. What's happening? Okay, change it to mission statement, please. Oh, wait. Okay, just leave it there. That's fine. Okay, if I had the right slide, we would find a mission statement. Every committee has a mission statement and related responsibilities. I consider the responsibilities more like goals, and then we formulate objectives and plan activities to meet those goals. And our mission statement, basically, our committee plans and works collaboratively with Lisa Frank, our resident Director of Resident Services, to ensure that timely information and health services are available to all residents at all times. And then we're going to now talk about our goals and how we've developed them. So hopefully, yeah, there we go. Okay, goal 1. At our meetings, we exchange information regarding the needs and concerns of residents. And this leads to activities that we think might benefit the residents. But if you have a concern or a suggestion in this area, we're always open. We like to do what's relevant for everybody. So come to us and talk to us about what we can do to answer your questions about anything that you're concerned about. Goal 2. Goal 2. Okay, we plan activities and programs for residents, and this takes up most of our time. When I met with our group as a chair, I'd researched all the areas that seemed to be pertinent in terms of seniors' concerns about their health. And I found these 17, so we set as a goal to address all 17 of these areas. And we have done that in many different ways, but we've gone beyond that because we've also presented seminars on pain management, diabetes, neuropathy, mind-body nutrition, and end-of-life planning. We've provided healthcare speakers who are either physicians or specialists in a medical field, or a member of our committee, or even a staff member here at Freedom Plaza. So information about what we do and our events is usually given to you by a flyer 3 weeks ahead of time. And then we follow that up with something in the weekly that Stephanie gets out to you on Wednesdays. Next slide. Okay, good. All right, in April 2022, we published our first newsletter, Did You Know? And this was a brainchild of this committee. Carl Bowenkamp and I started out with writing articles that we drew from our professional background. And he, as an MD, concentrated on medical articles as well as safety issues around Freedom Plaza. And he not only identified safety issues, he took some steps to resolve them. And then we had Ron Sweet, who did the creative formatting for this. We have had 7 editions so far, and because we've had really good feedback, I think everyone's reading it. Who knows? But there's some very good information in that I hope you found. And so we have our 8th edition coming out in January 2024. Okay, the next slide, and this one and the next slide show all of our activities this year, our seminars, our events, and you see that we have provided 23 events in 1.5 years. I want you to notice the first one that's listed, and that's why I included this, Lisa Frank's seminar on where to go for help. We've posted a lot of seminars that we've had recorded on rackrap.org. This one is posted on that site because the information is still relevant, and it would be very, very helpful for anyone coming in as a new resident to look at the seminar as well as some of the others. Let's see. Okay, the fitness center. I wanted to talk about the fitness center open house. As a member of the fitness center panel, I promoted the use of the fitness center because exercise contributes to good health. There are other many wonderful opportunities to have a healthy lifestyle at Freedom Plaza. For instance, the Freedom Breathers, sports, dancing, aquasizers. We don't have anything to do with that in terms of running their programs, but we do promote the use of those programs because, hey, if you live here, you've got lots of opportunities to live a healthy lifestyle. Let's see, we've got in the next slide that I hope you see that we've been working very hard for you. I'm going to touch I'm not ready for that one. Go back, yeah, okay. I'm going to just highlight a couple of these events to show you how we operate with all of these things that we do. Amy Gunter is our Director of Physical Therapy. She's presented a series of talks, neuropathy, movement and therapy, and plans more sessions in 2024. The seminars on pain management, end-of-life estate planning, healthy living for brain and body by Bob Bush, the Community Alzheimer's Association educator, had from 50 to 70 people attending. So we felt very gratified that what we're doing, I hope, is making a difference. We continue to develop and touch base with cognitive decline because this is a topic that is of interest to everyone. And we all want to prove wrong the perception that with aging comes mental decline, because it doesn't necessarily do that. And Bob Bush would have told you that if you had come to our seminar. After the first talk that he gave, and he was here last Tuesday to give another one, there was a lot of interest in what is called the mind-body diet. And this diet was developed by the Rush University Medical Center in the Chicago area, and it was designed to prevent or slow brain decline or Alzheimer's. in their 20 years of research, for those who followed it strictly, reduced the risk of Alzheimer's disease by 53%. And those who followed it moderately reduced it to 35%. That's pretty profound. And they also found that this diet helped heart health as well as diabetes. Now, this diet is somewhat like the Mediterranean paleo diets, but I find it simpler and easier to use. What I did was respond to people's questions about it by writing an article for it about it in our newsletter. It was called The Mind Diet, and then I put a poster and I put a quiz that you can take. In other words, you check the quiz to see if your choices of food are really helping your brain. Now, we do have choices of food here, and I can understand the complexity of everything that goes on in that area. The only thing that I've heard that people have asked for is more healthy options. And what I mean by that is we used to have a salad bar before COVID, and many people would make a meal of the salad bar. And all of that kind of food has nutrients that are very important for the chemical reactions in your body. If you don't have them, your body just doesn't operate as well as it should. So that would be the request I think that we would add to everything else you have to deal with, Teresa, is some healthy options like more raw food, salad, rather than a small salad. I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, and gently cooked vegetables. I know some people like vegetables cooked and cooked and cooked. I grew up in the South and I know what that Southern cooking used to be like. But we've changed now. We know what healthy eating is. And so I think people are more selective in what they eat now. Okay. Oh, we had a seminar. Let's talk about assisted living in Plaza West, and that involved our own staff. So we've tried to cover the waterfront in different interests and areas of concern, and also use the talent that is already here at Freedom Plaza. Okay, the next one. So this year we established 4 support groups, and that is Vision Impaired, which has been in operation for many, many years, but has continued with us under our umbrella in our committee. And the Neuropathy Support Group, the Hearing Impaired Support Group, and the Cancer Support Group. Pardon? No, I'm not talking about that right now. Okay, so those are the ones that we established, and each of those have times that they meet regularly. They have a set of guidelines they follow, and basically members go there to share information or receive information in a protected environment. So what is said there stays there, like in Las Vegas. But yeah, you mentioned the caregiver support group. We did not establish that. That belongs to Lisa, Frank, and Dennis Brady. And if you are interested in that group, which offers support for people who are caretaking for their loved ones who have brain decline, then see Lisa or Dennis about that, because it's by invitation only. With our support groups, just show up every time or once in a while, whatever fits you the best. Okay, we're looking ahead now for 2024, and what we're planning to do is to issue a survey to all the residents to see what you want beyond what we've provided so far. There's been a request for a Parkinson's disease support group, and we feel that we need to get just the right person as moderator, preferably a physician, to handle that support group, because it's something that people are very concerned about when they have it, and they need a professional to talk to and answer their questions. We're arranging for a speaker from Dispatch that's affiliated with United Healthcare. You can call them and they will come for a home visit. So that should be interesting to see what they have to say. Been interested in lung health, so we're looking for a pulmonologist who will provide information in that area. And then we're planning some more sessions on Medicare, and one of our residents has a good way to get the best deals for drugs through Medicare. Next slide. Okay, this is rackrep.org. If you haven't gone there, please do. There's everything that you would ever want to know about Freedom Plaza on this site. This is created by our president, Ron Sweet. He doesn't want me to let you know that. Yeah, and Don Gore is now taking over to post a lot of the information that we need there. So we're very grateful for his help. I won't go through every one of these, just know that former seminars and a lot of fitness training and exercise videos are on there, plus all the healthcare guidebooks that Freedom Plaza publishes. So just go there and click on one of the tiles and see what surprise comes up for you. Experiment with this. But we are proud of postings on rackrep.org. Okay, goals 3 and 4. We identify and report health-related issues requiring management action, and we preview and evaluate management health policies, practices, and procedures for residents and recommend improvements. These 2 goals involve our making suggestions for, say, emerging health needs, like through our long 2-year siege of COVID, or if we find out that a person has a special health need, an individual, we try to help them with that. All of this is done with Lisa sitting by and giving us a good perspective. But we keep management informed and they keep us informed. And we are very grateful for all the endeavors that Freedom Plaza provides to keep us healthy, including dining. Goal 5. We provide assistance for resident health programs organized by management. And that basically covers the flu clinics and the vaccine clinics. We help to publicize, we help with AV. So we do collaborate and work closely with Lisa and other management teams. Goal 6. Like all committees, we provide minutes of all of our meetings to the Resident Association Council and the residents in a timely manner. And you can go back as far as 2021, I think, on rackrep.org and read the minutes of all the committees. It is absolutely mind-boggling and wonderful what these committees of volunteers are doing for the residents every day. And so I deeply appreciate it. So these are posted on rackrep.org. You can see what we've been doing, which we think is in the best interest of the residents, but we depend on you to let us know as well. So in closing, I would like you to consider joining our committee. We work as a team, as you have seen with my description of what each of the members does. And we invite you to just come and be with us and express any concerns that you might have. We care, we're working hard to develop an active program. We plan to continue it, so come by to see us. And I thank you very much for listening to this long presentation, and I hope it's been meaningful for you. Thank you.
You for all your hard work. May I have that back? Thank you. Anything around about it getting disappeared, I don't understand. Do we have any questions? Okay. With all that, no, we didn't overrun our hour. In fact, we're a little under, but I think there's some donuts left in the back of the room. There's certainly coffee left in the back of the room. I thank you all. Have a great holiday. I will see everybody around, but officially at a meeting in January. And I will take care of myself so I can continue to lead till the very end, which is the end of February. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much.